we gave you 500 pennies right now, what would you do with it?
Well, I say logically that I would save them and then go to the little coin thing at the supermarket and then get $5 back. But that's such a hassle that they would probably just sit in a jar collecting dust in my house for like years and years and years until I don't know what, but that's what happens. Or I could just put them in a bag and use them as a weapon. But that's it.
Okay, thank you. I gave you 500 pennies and you could do anything you wanted, what would you do?
I would buy a pencil.
Okay, if we gave you 500 pennies right now, what would you do with it?
I would exchange it for cash.
Is that all your answers?
I would melt it in the copper and then make
That's the same thing as like doing your
a giant death ray, like what Archimedes did with copper mirrors, and it almost worked. He set Sparta's boats on fire.
Assuming you're doing this to multiple people, I'd get the pennies and take you off your head so that you go unconscious and then take your other pennies.
I was also thinking this.
500 pennies? Oh man, that's a tough question. 500 pennies, how would I carry them around? Like, who's giving them to me?
If we gave them to you right now.
Let's see, 500 pennies, let's see if I can do my math right. It's $5?
Yeah.
Oh,
But in
I'd
penny
probably go to-
form.
Oh, I'd probably go to
Okay, if we gave you 500 pennies right now, what would you do with it?
That's $5.
Yeah. You can do anything you want. It can just sit. If I gave you 500 pennies right now, what would you do? Okay. If I gave you 500 pennies right now, what would you do?
I would take them and just submerge them in nitric acid.
If you're given 500 pennies, what would you do with it?
I would probably put them all in a bag and then go to those places where you turn the coins in and then you get money back.
Alright.
What would you do with 500 pennies?
I would turn it in for $5.
If I had 500 pennies, I'd just take them all up, roll them up, and send them to the bank, but it'd probably take way too long.
If you have 500 pennies, what would you do?
I would use them as clothing box and fill